aking ano, menu. Ang kinikul, oh. Oh, ganda ng kinikul, ah. Oh, yung kiyuli.
Pyramid.
Pyramid, okay, mama. Dito kami sa pyramid. Oh.
Yan, nakain na si Bossing.
Okay. Ito ang aking sakyan. Hindi nyo madumi.
Ay, hindi pa ako makakubo.
Salat siya eh. Pasang ka?
Yung kukunin ko yung tubig ay bukas ay baka makakubo.
Morning, kami pupunta ng Hoover Dam. Ito ang aking rent a car Ford. Yan, ito maganda. Yung buko. Kami nasa Goldilocks. Yan, yung dalawa na sa loob pa. CCR. Yung Goldilocks yan sa labas. Yan, home.
Yan na yung aking driver. Untok na. Pa-Hoover Dam. Bundok. Bundok na bundok. Ayan. Bundok na, oh. Hoover Dam. Exit 2. Business, ano yun? Boulder City.
172.
Exit 172.
Ganda, puro bundok. Pulang bundok.
Yan, narito na kami sa 7 Mountain. Ano nga ba ito? 7 Wonderful. 7 Wonderful Mountain. Ayan. 30 minutes away from Las Vegas. Drive. The Discovery Hoover Dam.
Ang
આમાં સૌથી ઓછું કોતર કરવું પડે.
હાઇબ્રિડ ડિઝાઇન રશિયા
આ ટેક્સાસ. આમાં સૌથી ઓછી કોતરણી કરવી પડે. પણ આ એલિવેશન આપી જશે.
બની લાયા
ito pa yung ano, nag-hold. Yung bridge, yung Tasha Bridge. Nevada. Yan, itong bridge ng Hoover Dam. Yan. Di pa, sikat. Wala pa. Video dito sa tour. Mamaya mag-tour. 8 minutes pa waiting.
The government was already seeking ways to tame the Colorado through the engineering skills of the Bureau of Reclamation. But with 7 states disputing how much of the river's water each could claim, construction of a dam, any dam, was only a dream. But in 1921, Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover joined representatives from the 7 states to seek out a solution to equal water rights. Hoover proposed to simply divide the area into a lower and upper basin and leave further negotiations to the states within those basins. This compromise paved the way for the Boulder Canyon project to be constructed. And in 1931, the structure that would one day bear Hoover's name began with an explosion. Not only of black powder and dynamite, but one of human tenacity and ingenuity. It was the largest single contract awarded to that time by the federal government. It took the combined resources of 6 companies, forged into a single contracting entity, to undertake the mammoth project. But before the first shovel of earth could be removed, the Colorado River had to be diverted from its timeless path. The key was to cut 2 tunnels through the canyon walls on each side of the river, each 56 feet in diameter and approximately 4,000 feet long. The 4 tunnels took 2 years to complete. With the tunnels opened and cofferdams in place, the Colorado River had no choice but to leave its riverbed and flow through the man-made corridors. With the river diverted, steam shovels dug through as much as 135 feet of silt, mud, and gravel to reach bedrock. And there, Hoover Dam began as a simple square wooden form filled with concrete, followed by more than 3 million cubic yards of concrete over the next 2 years. Add the adjoining structures, and enough concrete was placed to build a 4-foot wide sidewalk around the Earth's equator. Heat from the setting concrete was predicted to take more than 100 years to cool, but engineers fashioned 1-inch steel pipe inside each concrete block before it was poured. A refrigeration plant so massive it could produce a 1,000-ton iceberg every day continuously pumped cold water through the pipes, cooling the concrete so construction was never interrupted. This innovative idea helped the entire structure be completed in just 5 years, 2 years ahead of schedule. Hoover Dam was built with 5 million barrels of cement, 18 million pounds of structural steel, 21 million pounds of gates and valves, and 840 miles of pipe. The scale of some of the equipment was beyond the capacity of American highways and railroads. The pipes that would carry water from the reservoir to the generators were so large they could not be shipped, so a manufacturing plant was created to build them at the site. An infrastructure of highways, railroad tracks, and power lines had to be created to move men and materials from outlying areas to the dam site and to supply electricity for construction. An entire town was needed to house the workers who were pouring in from all over America in the midst of the Great Depression. The project averaged 3,500 workers a day, working 3 shifts, 7 days a week with only 2 days off a year. The pay scale started at $4 a day, a good wage in the midst of the Great Depression sweeping America. Amid the country's economic uncertainty, the workers in this canyon gave new life to the nation's spirit, as they gave new life to the desert Southwest.
This is an engineering victory of the first order, another great achievement of American resourcefulness, American skill, and American determination. And that is why I have the right once more to congratulate you who have builded Boulder Dam, and on behalf of the nation, to say to you, well done.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt dedicated Boulder Dam on September 30th, 1935. In 1947, Congress officially named it Hoover Dam. Some call it the most prodigious engineering construction feat since the Great Pyramids of Egypt. When a U.S. Senate committee endorsed construction of Hoover Dam in 1928, Its report said, a mighty river, now a source of destruction, is to be curbed and put to work in the interests of society. And so it was. Hoover Dam brought the desert flood control, a reliable supply of water, electrical power, and more. Behind a 726-foot tall concrete face lies Lake Mead, America's largest man-made lake. Born out of the collected waters of the Colorado River, it could cover the entire state of Pennsylvania to the depth of 1 foot. But held behind Hoover Dam, it is a life-giving source for communities throughout the Southwest. On its way to meet downstream needs, thousands of gallons of water per second flow from Lake Mead through the dam's 17 giant turbines, producing clean, non-polluting hydroelectric power. Hoover Dam produces almost 4.5 billion kilowatt hours of electricity each year, enough to serve the needs of over 1 million people. The sale of this power has repaid the entire cost of constructing Hoover Dam and continues to fund the yearly operating and maintenance costs as well. Hoover Dam helped ensure a future for the communities that settled along the river and the low, flat valleys of Southern California and Southwest Arizona. In Las Vegas, Phoenix, Los Angeles, and other smaller cities, Colorado River water delivered from Lake Mead helps meet the needs of millions of people a year. Hoover Dam and other dams along the Colorado River contain the floodwaters spawned each spring by melting snows, and from their reservoirs flows an assured and reliable water supply for water users throughout the basin. Combined with the warm climate and rich soils of the lower Colorado River basin, water from Lake Mead has created some of the most productive farmland in the country. Farms in Arizona, Southern California, and Mexico, irrigated by these controlled flows, produce over $1 billion worth of vegetables and fruits throughout the year for dinner tables across the nation. The clear reservoirs and controlled river stretches resulting from construction of Hoover and other dams have created year-round recreational opportunities at the National Park Service's Lake Mead Recreation Area and other locations along the Colorado River. Hoover Dam first helped create and now helps sustain the high quality of life enjoyed by millions of people in the desert Southwest. At Hoover Dam and its other projects throughout the West, the Bureau of Reclamation is focused on efficient, effective, environmentally sensitive water resources management to help ensure our limited water supplies can meet the needs of all who depend on them. Wherever the system delivers water, life flourishes. Herbert Hoover, engineer, humanitarian, politician, fisherman, and conservationist, believed, as did many others, in a vision where man could affect nature for the good. With every touch of its coarse, concrete skin, and each sparkle that dances behind its crown, Hoover Dam reminds us of the need to dream noble purposes and the strength of the human spirit to achieve great aspirations.
Good afternoon, everyone. Friends and family, stay together. We're going to take 2 elevators. Make sure you stay together so you're on the same tour. Right this way. That's equivalent to about a 54-story building. When the elevator stops, just follow me. We're going to go around the corner to the right. You'll be inside Black Canyon.
Tapos yung Red Canyon.
Right this way.
Ito yung palis na.
Here's the other thing.
Oo, lalim.
There's a lot of problems with identification at the time. It's not like people had social security cards.
Bisa nga magtawag dun eh.
Nakita natin na.
Ilalim ito. Totoo ano.
Straight ahead, right down those steps all the way into the room.
Yan, Black Canyon. Ayan. Ito okay ito Ito ang ano no, Colorado. Power plant. Okay. Ay, yung pipe oh. Yung mahabang pipe. Ay, kaya kalawang na ah. Yung pipe, yung kuryente.
Bahay yan man eh.
Ito yung ano, yung structure ng ano, dalo yun. Ito ang mga pipe ko. Kaya mga pipe ko. Ito yung pipe ko. Yung simento.
Did not come down on the elevator with me. My name is Karen. I'm going to be your guide. Feel free to move around the room, take all those pictures. Just don't leave the room without me. We're going to look at this chart. On this chart, we are here above this penstock pipe in this diversion tunnel. And this is one of the original diversion tunnels. There were 2 on the Arizona side, 2 on the Nevada side of Black Canyon. Each tunnel was about 4,000 feet long, and they actually blasted these tunnels about 56 feet in diameter. The first purpose of the diversion tunnels was to divert the Colorado River around this construction site. Once the tunnels were finished, 2 earthen dams were built. The upper coffer dam was built upstream. That's what forced the water in the Colorado into the diversion tunnels and around the construction site. The lower coffer dam was built downstream. That was only 65 feet tall, but that made sure the water didn't backflow into the work area. Once the coffer dams were finished and the river was flowing through the canyon on either side, the riverbed between the 2 coffer dams was drained, and there they dug up that 135 feet of muck and loose rock to get to the solid bedrock. That's the foundation for the dam. The site was then ready for the construction. They were delivering 8 cubic yards, or about 16 tons of concrete every 78 seconds. And they worked 24 hours a day, nonstop, 7 days a week, nonstop for 2 years. When the dam was finished, 3 diversion tunnels were closed. They kept this one open for a little while longer so water could flow downstream while they were beginning to fill Lake Mead. And on the final year of the project, the intake towers were completed, 2 on the Arizona side, 2 on the Nevada side of the dam. Each intake tower is 395 feet tall. Even though it looks like they're coming right from the bottom of Lake Mead, they actually sit on shelves or ledges on the canyon walls. They're 250 feet from the bottom of Lake Mead. So now water from Lake Mead falls into those intake towers, and it goes through the canyon about 125 feet into those 30-foot in diameter penstock pipes. So once they were finished diverting the water, they repurposed these 2 diversion tunnels. These 2 tunnels now hold penstock pipes that carry the water from the intake towers to the generators. And those penstock pipes were the ones that were too big to transport, so we made those here. And that's what you can see out of these windows. This is an original penstock pipe. We still use it every day. It carries up to 96,000 gallons of water per second. That's enough water flowing through this pipe to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool in under 7 seconds. And then the water goes into smaller pipes that lead to the generators. Water spins the turbines, creates electricity. Then the water exits between the two power plants. The upper coffer dam is still there. It just sits on the bottom of the lake. But the lower coffer dam was blasted away so this water could flow downstream and be the Colorado River again. And finally, they finished the spillways. One on the Arizona side, one on the Nevada side of the canyon. And the spillways kind of act like that hole in the bathroom sink. Water goes through the little hole so it doesn't go over the sink. The spillways were built 27 feet below the top of the dam, so flood water would never go over the dam. And they've only been used twice. They tested them in 1941, and in 1983 there was a flood. Is everyone aware that about 95–96% of the water in Lake Mead is melted snow from the Rocky Mountains? So in 1983 there was a temperature spike, and all the snow melted quickly, and we got a lot of water very fast, so there was a flood. Here's a picture of that. This is the Nevada spillway. You can see the dam in the background. In this picture, the water is 7 feet from the top of the dam. Water went over the spillways for about 63 days, and then the water level dropped around 4 feet, and it stayed at that level for a little more than a year and a half. Has everyone seen the white that's on the canyon on the lake side? So when the water recedes, that's water going through the penstock pipes. Yes. So when I first started, you know, because we say water flows, it actually doesn't flow. It's kind of bumpy. So that's that vibration that you're feeling. But that's 96,000 gallons of water per second.
Yeah,
that's that. When water recedes or evaporates, it leaves behind calcium carbonate. And that's the white that you're seeing on the canyon out there. And the top of that white, that's how high the water was in 1983. So that's not how high we want the water now. That was too high. But when water goes over the spillways, it goes through the other two diversion tunnels. So the water is going through the canyon, around the dam, around the power plant, and then it joins the river safely downstream. On the next part of our tour, we're going to be here in the bottom of the U-shaped building at the base of the dam. I'm going to go ahead and lead you back up to the elevators. We're going to go see the generators. So friends and family, still stay together. Wait for me at the bottom of the steps. We still have to take 2 elevators. On behalf of the Bureau of Reclamation, welcome to the Nevada side of the Hoover Dam Power Plant. Here on the Nevada wing, you can see 8 commercial generators. There are 9 on the Arizona wing for a total of 17. Looking at that generator in the front of the row, right across that gray decking is in the center, you can see that shiny steel shaft. That spins at 180 revolutions per minute, and each generator produces 130 megawatts of electricity. When a generator is in production, the light on top is on. Water demand downstream dictates how many generators we can operate. And these generators are 70 feet tall. We're only seeing the top 30 feet from this floor. But bolted onto the bottom of that 65-foot drive shaft is a 34-ton Francis-style turbine. And to the second generator in the row was the first commercial generator in production. After the first 4 were working in 1939, Hoover Dam was the largest hydroelectric plant in the world. Now looking down on the power plant floor, closer to the balcony, you'll see a smaller, rust-colored, horizontally mounted pelted water wheel generator surrounded with a silver fence. That was the first generator in production in 1936. There's another one like it on the Arizona wing. And each of these generators produce 2.4 megawatts and supply all of our in-house power. Lights, computers, elevators, machinery, the entire dam. Now looking up, spanning the top of this wing, you'll see 2 green bridge cranes. One is farther down in the room. The one that's closest, proud to display, is the American flag. These cranes are used for maintenance, to move equipment where needed. They ride on tracks that run the full length of this wing. And these are the original P&H crane. Each crane is able to lift 300 tons. To give you some perspective on that, the Statue of Liberty in the New York Harbor, she weighs just 225 tons. So one bridge crane could lift the Statue of Liberty with no problem. But we have two of these cranes. We can link them together. They'll act as a super crane, lifting about 600 tons. And that's what they need when they install or remove a rotor. A rotor is what spins inside that red casing and holds 40 6-foot electromagnets. And it's the red section is called the stator housing or the copper coils. And one rotor for one generator weighs more than 567 tons. Now looking behind you or to the right, we're looking in the direction of Lake Mead. Between Lake Mead and us is Hoover Dam. The dam stands 726 feet tall, and it's just 45 feet thick at the roadway, but the base of the dam comes in at 660 feet thick. To give you some perspective on that, take another look back down our room. If we were to measure from that far wall to this wall on my right, this distance is 650 feet. We would still need to add 10 feet to this distance and fill this room with concrete to get the thickness of the dam at its base. Questions? Anyone have questions? All right, friends and family, stay together.
Both buildings appear to have wires coming out of them. This is called the takeoff structure. From the takeoff structure, the wires carry the electricity up and over the canyon walls at 230,000 volts. The towers that support and direct the wires are leaning into the canyon. These are cantilever towers, designed to ensure that the wires do not touch the walls of the canyon and short out. Now look downriver, midway on the canyon wall, and you will see a rectangular concrete building with 6 holes. This is the valve house. There are 2, one on each side of the canyon. Each building contains 2 90-inch jet flow gates. These gates allow us to run water around the turbines if necessary. Canyon walls by a single rope on a bosun's chair, drilling, blasting, chipping away at the rock. They work the walls to their solid foundation to prevent the natural rock from falling on the workers below.
Yan, tayo sa exhibit.
It has been said that in the shadow of Hoover Dam,
Exhibit, oh.
Okay, well, here we go. Last call. Have you been the Overlook? Upstairs? Yeah.
I'm not feeling settled in this Nevada desert. We came from all over before, but it was green and you could get by on old vegetables left in the fields. Now everywhere I look, it's nothing but brown dirt and rocks.
That's where I first met old Hurry Up Crow working on the dam in Jackson. This is my third dam working with Grove. This is much better than
Ay, ito ang ginamit ng machinery, oh. Ito yung pambuhos. Bakit? Himba? Ha? Yan, oh. Totoo ito. Ito yung ginamit talaga. Yung ginamit talaga. Yung pagsabi ngayon ng ano. Ayan, oh. Ayan, oh. Ito yun, oh. Ito yun, oh. Yung natural na yan, oh.
Yung timba, ano?
Timba, bakit? May mga unti lang yan. Ilang ano yan.
We need a candy wagon to bring us another load. Oh, and have to throw a couple of banjos and crutches in the wagon.
Nalaglag.
What's with that cooling pipe? Gotta cool the concrete. Otherwise, it'll take over a
Powder man, yung taga-buhos ng ano.
Cooling concrete like this ain't never been done before. It was invented right here for this job.
The hoover is kind of weird because it is it's a hybrid. It's a concrete arch dam. Usually dams are just they're either arch or gravity. The arch dam is flat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you got the gravity to hold it down into place. And you can't.
May pag-asin po ng kampo. Ayan, utal tayo. Ayan yung actual, oh. Yung kapal ng ano, pader. Gano'n ka kapal, oh. Ayan, oh. Ayan, oh. Ayan ko yung...
So because of that... They know what kind of score that took? The dam can withstand an 8.6 magnitude.
Ito yung loob ng ano. Wala. Ito yung generator, oh. Yan, gift shop. Ba, maganda itong t-shirt na ito ah. Magkano ang t-shirt?
16.
Ha?
Depende.
Maganda itong kulay. Magnet. Ba. Kasi magnet. Ayun, magnet. Ay, hindi maganda. Hindi maganda.
Play na yung
Ito.
key.
HWD 687. Ang anong pangalan ay anong sasakyan to? Ford Fuhi High Grade. Ilagay ko lang dito na. Oh. Tapos
Sarado mo. Hilahin mo ulit. Wala na.
wala na. Oh.
Andyan na.
Yan na. Okay.
Okay.